Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Jagex just dropped another blog post. This one's about UI and interfaces. And you all know me if you guys have been watching my videos. I love these types of blog posts. The quality of life, the slight little tweaks to interfaces and menus and stuff. I live for this stuff. I love it. Now, I do think there is some value in removing the clunkiness from the game, but you just can't take it too far because I do feel like there's something special about the old school kind of clunkiness about our game, you know what I mean? But I feel like Jagex does a pretty good job of not like getting rid of those charming aspects, but also cleaning up the game because over time, I mean, as soon as something comes into the game that really does get rid of clunkiness, give it a few months and we all kind of get used to it. And then we're like, wow, I can't believe we used to play without like this nice quality of life or these, you know, like nicer menus. Like we used to play with real. Do you guys remember when you would fletch a log with a knife and you'd have to literally manually type 99999 enter every single fucking time? Because it was literally make 1, make 10, or make X. There wasn't any make all. So it was every single inventory you would have to click make X and then spam some random number above 7. You know, that's crazy. And we have just all gotten used to it. If we had to go back into the Stone Age again, that would be a nightmare, honestly. So I'm excited for this. Also, I went to McDonald's this morning. This is the first time I think I've ever picked up a coffee product there in my 30-year existence on this rock. And I picked up a sugar-free latte, and I kind of like it. It's pretty cheap, too. So let's get into this. Also, I know I'm so annoying about this, but if you guys want to help support grow the show over on Spotify, linked in the description and pinned in the comments is the show on Spotify. And I appreciate all you. We have seen some significant growth over there, and you guys are killing it. So thank you so much. We're back with another quality of life poll, only this time there's a twist. No poll. How bizarre. We're actually going to get to that point where just every single poll is just unpolled. It's not even a poll anymore. Now, I think they say later here, but this is, a what we won't poll section. So while looking through our backlog and trying to settle on a theme for our next quality of life installment, we found a whole heap of UI tweaks which fall under the what we won't poll section of our polling charter that are sure to make you go, ooh, that's nice. As always, we welcome all of your thoughts and feedback. So if any of these changes really don't sound great, then let us know and we can revisit, readjust, and return with a refined proposal. Wow. With so many of these being interface changes that we've not started working on, we don't have concept or mock-up images lying around for the time being, so it's all text today. But we're going to keep things short and sweet. Let's get started. Hell yeah. So this is another thing I love about Jagex as of late. Not even as of late. I feel like they have a very, very good track record of always like just being on their tippy toes, ready to revise and revisit anything that the community is like flipping out about. You know what I mean? Also, I am curious. Does anyone know, did they double down on getting rid of that? Like, who's the little demon teacher random event, you know, that you go there and you have to like click the teacher's desk and then you like pick the object? They like fixed that or something, which makes it so you can't just click the table again and get the same quiz over and over. I see that's something where you really shouldn't change it. I'll be honest. That is something so minor that is just kind of charming. It's charming to be able to break the game somewhat, you know what I mean? And just know the next pattern. And to be fair, it's not even that broken because you kind of have to get good RNG on the first thing, because what you don't want is like choose the 3 fishing objects and you're looking between like 25 objects and you're like, what the fuck is going on? You wouldn't want to repeat that one. So it really is RNG on like getting like that first test like really good, and then you can just like repeat it. And you can easily mess it up. You know, if you hold spacebar, you've messed it up. So I think there's just a little bit of charm. I really feel like they should revert that if they haven't already. That's one of those things that they need to revisit. Anyway, interface uplift changes. Desktop minimap toggle. This is actually shocking that this wasn't a thing already, but if you've ever played on mobile, then you'll likely know you can minimize the on-screen minimap to free up a little more screen space, stacking the useful information orbs for hit points, prayer, run energy, and special attack energy at the top right. We like to give players on desktop the same flexibility just in case you want to tidy up your UI for a boss encounter or a laid-back skilling session. It doesn't matter for me, boys. Who is a fixed gamer? Fixed on my fucking chest. Like, honestly, who has never strayed away from Saradomin's light and have stayed fixed, true to the fixed? Now, to be fair, I am stretched fixed because my eyes are just pure shit. But you know, that's not my fault. That's just, but you know, like I did not decide how bad my vision would be. But yeah, I've fixed gang all the way until I die. Maybe. Nah, probably, honestly. I can't see myself changing at this point. Remember the last combat achievements tab you viewed? Or, oh, is he asking a question? Oh, remember the last combat achievements tab you viewed? We're giving this one its own section to make it clear that we know the combat achievements interfaces in general could use some work. Yes, it's really bad. Even now, I'm still like occasionally like, how do I just look at the tasks? They're a mess, honestly. It would take someone like Gentle Tractor to fix that shit. I'll be honest. Gentle Tractor would nail that interface. It's kind of complicated. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't envy that position to clean up the combat achievements interface. If you gave me a couple days, I could kind of like imagine, you know, like how it could look optimally. But I feel like Gentle Tractor is just so good at that. So ask him. He could fix that shit right up. Also, shout out Gentle Tractor for the sailing cape he won. So that was cool. Particularly since many players don't realize that the progress bar at the top of any boss entry is actually a button that lets you view their tasks. Yeah, I've had to explain that to some people on Discord. For the time being, we're not able to deliver a more full-scale rework of this interface, but we can make it remember the last thing you were looking at so you don't need to re-navigate to a particular task or boss every time you open it up. Shades of Morton broken coffin improvements. This coffin might be worse for wear, but that doesn't mean its usability needs to be. Admittedly, it's a little niche, but players who frequent the Shades of Morton minigame have been asking for improvements for a long time now. We've got some quick and simple tweaks that should help. So let's see what they're offering. Update the right-click options for the broken coffin so that players can withdraw shade remains into their inventory without needing to open the configure dialog. Okay. When withdrawing shade remains from the coffin, withdraw as many as possible. If a player has multiple types of shade remains in their coffin, withdraw the highest tier remains first, similar to how the herb sack functions. Wait, what? That's not really similar to how the herb sack functions because the herb sack does the lower tier herbs first. You know what I mean? That's interesting. Toggleable mobile it's like the opposite, but I see what they're trying to say. Kind of, it's like the same type of thing, just in the opposite order. Because I mean, who would want to withdraw the shittier shades first? I don't really know. Why would you even have multiple types? Toggleable mobile friendly teleport menus. Those of you who've ever teleported anywhere, I have. Type 1 if you've ever teleported anywhere. Will likely have run into the iconic numbered list of options on top of a scroll interface at some point. Those of you who've seen this interface on mobile will likely have teleported into the middle of nowhere, far from the intended destination, as punishment for having a thumb that's millimetres too large. Shame on you. What? Guys, why does like British English, you know, like why do they always do RE? Like, come on, it's ER. Let's be honest now. I feel like the Americans are actually, I mean, you guys have already said it. The Americans are the ones that have bastardized the language, but seriously, it just looks so weird. Millimetres, like, come on, man. Just say meters like an American. I know you still call it millimeters, but like, it just looks so weird. To rectify this, I don't know why I went on that tangent. It's just so random. To rectify this, we'd like to give this a more modern design that still feels old school so that mobile users have a little more space and fewer misclicks. We know that the scroll interface is iconic, so we'd make this change a toggle in case you prefer the current look. Okay, this is some, honestly, so this is like it's going off of this, but we need more standardized menus across the game. It really feels like it's everywhere. Now, this is by no means is this like something we need to do quickly or anything, but it really does feel weird that, yeah, like occasionally you'll pull up the teleports and it'll be like a scroll over your display. By the way, if you're playing on a fixed screen, what's so annoying is that oftentimes the teleports are just up here blocking your whole screen. I'll be honest, I really do feel like at some point in the future, I don't know. Maybe they won't ever get to this point just because so many people play resizable and so many people also like play mobile at this point. But I always loved the idea of having almost everything down here in your chat box. You know how like when you go to a furnace, for example, you're making bars that are all down here. I love that your screen never gets like blocked from things like that. And I don't know if they would ever do this, or they could even do this, because there's some interview, like I'm trying to think, like the jewelry box, for example, like that would be very hard to squeeze all down here in a chat box. They really could do it though. They just have to make small buttons of everything, but that would just be a mess. I just feel like in my perfect world, it would never block your screen. The screen would be for other like interfaces such as these. So you could have like, your combat tasks things up. And then if you clicked on the teleport jewelry or whatever you did, it would always be down here in your chat box. Anyway, this is so irrelevant to talk about. But beyond that, even if they don't do the chat box version, I really do feel still like they could standardize all of these teleports. Also, I am just going to say this right now while I'm here at the game. This is something that I already know they won't have addressed in this blog. So Jagex, if you're watching this, please, for the love of God, we need to fix this. This is the simplest fix, and it's been the case for years. Like, I'm pretty sure since forever. It's just never been changed. So where the fuck's my silver jewelry? And also, you know what? I'm going to go here just to prove it one more time that this also doesn't work. Do I need a bar for this? Listen, when you go to a furnace, most menus, if you've set, Jesus Christ, it already worked. If you've set interfaces, let's see, escape, the escape key closes the current interface. Checked on. Look, when I click this, I'll click escape, and it closes. When I go here and I click escape, nothing fucking happens. You guys need to fix this. What the fuck is going on? Why doesn't this work? I'm clicking escape. It's not exiting. And so it's the crafting menu. Whenever you're making jewelry, it just has never worked ever. And I don't know why we just can't fix that. This is the simplest fix. And it's actually so frustrating because I'm an escape clicker. I'm struggling over here. Can you guys tell? Anyway, same problem. I'm clicking escape. Nothing's fucking happening. And I have to manually click this thing if I'm not going to smith anything. It's ridiculous. Now, to be fair, you could just click one of these and it exits, obviously. But come on, just make it so it's escape. These are like the simplest changes. Anyway, so going back to where we were, let's see. Yeah, we just need to fix that. So consistent options for storage containers. Old school's full of nifty space-saving unlocks. Annoyingly, there's not much rhyme or reason to the right-click menus of these unlocks, despite many of them being functionally identical. Yeah, this is, again, like the standardizing of things, which I'm a huge fan of. We'd like to smooth this out by making the coal bag, gem bag, herb sack, plank sack, and essence pouches all share a consistent order for their right-click options, which would mirror the existing order for the coal bag. Some of you might already be used to these inconsistencies, but remember that menu entry swapper is an option for those of you on RuneLite and the default game client now, so you can move them around to your heart's content. I also just got to give a shout out. I am so grateful that we fully have accepted menu entry swapping for everything. Not everything yet, though. For some reason, we got enlightened so much. We have left click construction, just beautiful. But I'm pretty sure to this day, we still don't have left click blackjacking, right? I could be wrong on that, but I don't think so. Come on, menu entry swap everything. This is just so dumb. Like, why are we still? There's just a few things that are, again, I'm using this term a lot lately. Stone Age, just stuck in the Stone Age. Like, we have gotten so good at being able to menu entry swap everything except for just a few random things that is just so silly. Anyway, this is huge though. And also on the topic of the gem bag, can we please make it so lesser tier gems can go in there already? Like, what is going on? Let's just make them fit in there. Fairy ring search functionality. Some of you might know this because it's so well implemented, but the ability to type a location and filter your list of fairy ring destinations isn't something we've been able to offer on the default client, meaning mobile users are missing out. Okay. We'd like to let players search for their desired destination regardless of what device or client they might be using. So we'll be adding similar functionality to our default client. Since we're already making changes here, we'll be speeding up the speed that the selector's wheels spin at and letting you favorite up to 10 destinations for quick access. Ooh, I like that. I wonder if there's like a nicer way to add favorites. You know what I mean? Because the favorites are nice because they're in like that first little like section of your inventory. You know what I mean? I feel like what they would need to do if you wanted to add 10 is like shrink them down somehow, you know, like, I don't know, maybe just have the code there. I feel like many of us, if you've played RuneScape long enough, you've memorized codes. And I feel like if you could just sort of move around similar to like rearranging your spells or your prayers, just kind of like move around these little like orbs of like what the fairy code is, that would be a really nice way, because then you would just memorize like the actual position of the orbs. Like, you know, let's just say it looked like this. You go to the fairy ring and there's like a, you know, a 3x4, you got 12 different things. Maybe it'd be a little bit larger than this. But it just has like the fairy code and you just click it. So you can like place them and then, you know, muscle memory over time. And the thing about mobile, you know, even mobile would be really nice because you just tap it and it's just like it's a perfect little fingerprint. I think that'd be kind of cool. But again, I think they imagine people want more than just the code, which to be fair, I don't know how you'd fit the text in there, but yeah, they might just stick with the lines. But I honestly feel like they could just do like the orb version where it just has the codes. And then you just over time, just remember the position of where you'd want to go. Anyway, I'm just speaking stuff. All right, chugging barrel improvements. Does anyone have a chugging barrel here? Like, is it worth the upgrade? I feel like this is something where like you're a maxed Zuck Helm person, now you get a chugging barrel because you're just raiding all day or doing whatever. I feel like for more of a mid-game, end-game, like not end-game, but mid-game to late, you're not really using this that much. But I mean, I'm curious, have you guys that have this, do you love your decision of that? Like, I feel like I'm going to get this at some point, but I've never used it yet. Filling up your chugging barrel can feel needlessly frustrating at times when you're trying to quickly set yourself up for another raid, since you have to open your bank, open your potion storage, fill the barrel, close the potion storage to go back to the bank. Okay, that sounds like a nightmare. We'd like to make it so using the load button on any chugging barrel loadout can pull the relevant potions from your potion storage, even if you don't have the potion storage interface open. Handy. Also, I don't even have potion storage yet on this account. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people really love potion storage. Some people are like, nah, it's not the move. Eventually, I'll probably get it though and just test it out, because I feel like people just telling me if they like it or not is not gonna like convince me. I need to like actually test it myself. Initial investigations here suggest that we'll likely need to add a bank setting for you to choose how your bank handled potions in the bank versus bank itself versus potion storage. We'll make sure to clue you in fully for any release. Nice. All right, now the smaller UI changes. Naturally, when it comes to UI tweaks, some of them do exactly what they say on the tin and don't need much explanation or context at all. So we've gathered those up here for a rapid fire round of tweaks. Ooh, okay. Let's see if there's any good ones. Gray out the home teleport icon and the teleport button in the grouping interface if these particular teleports are on cooldown. Okay. Allow long press right click on side stones to let players quickly navigate where they need to go. So, e.g., right clicking on the character summary stone to instantly navigate to the quests. Achievement diaries or ooh. Okay, so I see. So right here, you could right click this and then it would just have one of these, you know what I mean? Or it'd have like all three, just similar to like these having multiple options, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's cool. Add an additional 6 slots to the rune pouch loadouts. Oh, allowing for 10 in total. Additionally, let players name their loadouts to make it easier to select what you need at a glance. Fucking hell yes. Shout out Mod Ash for like initially coding that. That's so great. Update the set effects menu when wearing partially complete outfits that provide a bonus. For example, Inquisitor's armor pieces should display their 0.5% damage and accuracy boost, as well as displaying the additional 1% boost from the full set is equipped. Very nice. I like that. Update the Slayer rewards UI with an extra tab so that players can easily tell which rewards are cosmetic and which rewards are functional. Okay. Allow players to deposit into a stash unit while they're still equipped. Oh, yes, that's really good. Now, you know, at some point we're gonna get to the point where we have like a clue outfit or something where like you just never even need to go to your stash unit. But I really do like this because I feel like there are some situations where your inventory is kind of a mess and you can't even like see where that third item is, and maybe you just click the stash unit and then you insta-telly like I do, and then you realize you didn't even dump it. That's great. That's really cool. I don't think they could go any further than that, because like if they were to make it so it's instantly equipped too, then I feel, well, wait. Yeah, they couldn't make it so when you initially click the stash unit that it instantly equips. They could do that, but I feel like that would be a little bit more complicated. And at that point, you'd still have to re-equip the armor anyway, because it's not like it's gonna just clicking back on the stash unit. It's not gonna just re-equip your 3 items that you already had in your inventory. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but you get it. Add a tooltip when players hover over the world map icon to display the Control M shortcut. Also, Alt F4, guys, if you're raiding and you want double potions or like double overloads, Alt F4. Don't do that. Or Control W, right? Is that the one that people do? Add a chat message to let players know when their prayer points have been drained at Barrows. We've noticed that a lot of new players don't pick up the big floating face correlating with the prayer drain effect. Hopefully this makes it a little easier to figure out. Adjust world map icons to make clear which agility shortcuts are one-way only and which are two-way, meaning they can be used from either side. Also, I'm sorry, I just need to say this. At I've been doing a little bit of Barrows lately because I need to get a full Barrow set for Mauritania Elite. That's the last requirement I have for it. And listen, I understand I chose to be an Iron Man, but it is actually silly how in that last room, if you want to just get the percentage up to a nice healthy amount to get blood runes or whatever, there's a bunch of rats and bloodworms and skellies everywhere. And if you're on a packed world, people will just like hit a skeleton once and then it's just going to be there for the next 5 minutes. And then when you come over to just get that quick little percent boost of your rewards and to kill a skeleton, nope, it's already been hit. It already got hit a 1 or something. And then you're just locked in on this skeleton getting nothing. Listen, this is the most like this is not going to break anything by allowing Iron Man to just kill something that's already half killed and get the bonus for it. Seriously, like oh my god, it's beyond frustrating to have something already hit and then you're just killing it for no fucking reason. It's just so bad. Barrows, I understand you can't do it everywhere because then some snowflake accounts like Rendy are going to like take advantage of it and get a bunch of shit for free, but at Barrows, none of these little mobs even drop anything. They're just giving you some kill percentage for your like reward, you know what I mean? Or your, like reward percentage goes up. And come on, Jagex, just allow it to be allow Iron Man to kill already half hit monsters and still get that full percentage. And if that's too OP, just make it so you get half the percentage, you know, at bare minimum. But Jesus Christ, actually frustrating. Adjust world map icons to make clear which agility shortcuts are one-way and which are two-way. Okay. Convert the grouping tab suggested world section into a button so that players can easily hop to suggested world for a given activity. Nice. Add a bank all button to the top death chest. That's really nice. Add a simple GUI for Chompy Hunting hat claims and reclaims from rants. Additionally, allow players to store them in the POH costume room. I need to also take a brief second on this one. I just hunted 300 Chompies on this account, you know, and I'm going to eventually have to go for the 1,000 for Western Elite. And I understand they have made some nice changes to Chompy hunting. Like they have made it so many things are left clickable. But god damn, that place is sticky as fuck. It's just like you're trying to absorb a frog with the gas. And you're just sitting there for like 3 ticks glued to your guy just can't move. He's the stickiest person ever. And then when you're dropping Chompies, it's like a 3-tick action where everything's stalled. That experience, just fix it, Jagex. There's no reason why that needs to stay like that for the next 10 years. Like, Chompy hunting is already bad as it is because of the sheer amount you need to catch. But like not catch, but shoot, I guess kill chompies. Not actually catching them, but yeah, we need to just fix it. Jesus, like I know I have all these little grievances with things, but chompies is one of the most frustrating, sticky experiences. Your guy can't move. Like you're just waiting for these stalls repeatedly. Like holy shit. Like it's so bad. It's so goddamn bad. It's horrible. So I just gotta say, yeah, fix that. Also, you know what would be kind of cool now that I think about it? You know the little swamp inflator thing, little frog inflator. That it would be really cool if you know, there was like an infinite version of that. So like maybe you have to sit at a swamp for a decent amount of time and it just fills up like 1,000 or something like that of gas. Instead of having to fill your inventory with like a bunch of them and they only hold 3 charges, it'd be kind of cool if you just had like one that just held like 1,000 charges or something, or even one that just holds 100, you know, and then you do have to fill it up occasionally. Even one that holds 50, like that would still be cool. But anyway, I'm just throwing out random suggestions at this point. Add a load 30 option when right-clicking the Dwarven multi-cannon so that players with higher tier of combat achievements completed don't have to waste cannonballs unnecessarily if they don't have a full complement of 45 or 60. Yeah, interesting. We could also add, I think I like brought up in a YouTube comment, we should just add a remote control for your cannon. So just like in your inventory, no matter where you are, as long as your cannon's up, you can just like it's just like a remote control device that just magically, you know, because they haven't actually like discovered electricity in this game. Is there electricity in Gilner, in the universe of Gilner? Who knows? But yeah, it'd be kind of cool if there's like a remote control for your cannon where you just like there's a little device in your inventory and just says like fill, empty, reload, and like load X, and you can choose the amount that you want to load it in. You know, I'm kind of trolling, but at the same time, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. I like that. Add a toggleable setting to toggle a warning when depositing high value seeds into a birdhouse on Fossil Island. Okay. Add a toggle config. I liked it when people, there was like some random post years ago where like somebody's like, I accidentally deposited 10 Renar seeds into my birdhouse. I'm like, who the fuck is using herb seeds anyway on the birdhouse? Like, I understand you can, but why would you risk that? Like, and like, if you, I don't know, I feel like the guy was just karma seeking. He was just desperate for karma on Reddit, I think, because nobody would do that. Nobody would dump 10 Renar seeds into a birdhouse. I don't believe it. Maybe it happened. Add a toggle configure option to the Stony Basalt so that players can have it teleport them to the bottom of Stronghold security by default. I mean, you're not forced to teleport to the location unlocked on the completion of Hard Fremennik Diary. Cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, there probably is some world where you would just already want to be down that little shortcut. For bosses who have their times tracked, add your personal best time to the respective collection log entry. That's awesome. That's it. We know you've got grinds to be getting on with, so we won't overstay our welcome. Just make sure to share any thoughts you've got with us that we can make adjustments if needed. I'm just dying over here. In the meantime, have fun in Gillinor, and we hope that we got at least one, ooh, that's nice out of you, for this interface uplift blog. Very beautiful. I'm a huge fan of all this. Well done, Jagex. Alongside just the player, you know, like the player size of this game. What am I trying to say right now? The player count. Like, what we have the largest amount of players right now in this game. And there's so much incentive for Jagex to just be pumping out like newer updates, you know, just constantly. But they are still being very good, very calm and collected, and still giving us the things that we really want, like these interfaces, these small little UI changes and things. And this is just beautiful. Like, with all the hype around the game, you're still sticking to the basics, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So well done, Jagex. Another banger blog. And yeah, for those still here, if you guys want to help support my channel, jump over to the Spotify link pinned in the comments, linked in the description. Go give the show a follow, and yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.